You want to tell me why you didn't come home last night?
Not really.
You want to tell me what the fuck you're doing?
Finally, some emotion.
It's really a movie about jealousy and ways in which it fuels relationships and ways in which it destroys them. And it's about like what is the nature of a happy relationship, a real loving relationship. How dark do you go? If you go down certain roads, you know, you kind of can't turn back.
Action, Trixie!
I thought the idea that there'd be a complicity between these people, a kind of a sexual complicity, where, for example, at the beginning of the movie, he's wandering around looking for her and her boyfriend, Joel. And he's looking in at the party and she's disappeared outside, and he goes to a window and he sees her and the boyfriend making out. And there's a moment when she looks up to the window and she sort of knows that he's going to be watching. And rather than looking away and being embarrassed that she had been caught out by her husband, she turns back to the boy as if nothing has happened. So you get right from the off in the film, you get a sense that she's almost doing it for his benefit as well, which is sort of unusual.
Do you know I love you?
Come on. Let's go.
Melinda, it's a little hard to describe for me because she's full of contrast. On one side, you have this woman who's a good mom, who's full of energy, with so much love to give and excited about living life to the fullest. And on the other hand, you have someone who's deeply unhappy in her marriage. She's frustrated. She doesn't feel understood. She doesn't have the life she expected. And, you know, she wants more.
How was your night?
Magnificent.
Vic is a guy who is sort of got the mind of an engineer. People I know like that are they tend to be sort of black and white, technically focused, a little bit more separated emotionally, more cerebral, a little more distanced from their emotions. And I sort of thought of him as like really rooted in the front brain and not at all in touch with like how he felt at all. So sometimes his actions would be foreign to him, his reactions surprising to him, and not what he expected or wanted, or even surprised to feel anything at all. And I think it's interesting to play a character who's really unintelligent emotionally and very intelligent intellectually. That's the fact, the sort of dialectic, the reality that dialectic can exist.
Why are you the only man who wants to stay with me?
I don't know.
Are you too?
I do.
You will realize that this is something that Melinda does a lot in the movie, and it's nothing else but, you know, trying to get her husband's attention and trying to maybe spark that intimacy again and that romantic connection that they had once.
Tony and Melinda, well, I think that they were a fling like in college a while ago, and then, you know, Tony fell in love with traveling and he just sort of moved on, and I think it was amicable, but I think that he did break up with her, and I think that's a rare thing. Like, she has her way with someone and then leaves on her own terms most of the time. The fact that she says, oh, Tony broke up with me, is like a thing that kind of maybe sticks with her still, you know, like trying to kind of regain that in some way, and I think it probably hits Vic a little differently too. Like, oh, this is not a guy that you just threw away. Like, he left you. So what does that mean?
Fun fact. Tony was the first American I fucked. What? You blushing? Are you okay?
The best part of the relationship between Melinda and I was working with Ana. She's the first actor that I ever worked with that left me like shocked in a scene. She would just do things before action and cut to sort of set the tone, and she'd just like scream on the top of her lungs or something before it went, and then you'd go in and I would be like, and it was a scene that we were supposed to feel that I was supposed to feel embarrassed or nervous in or something, and then sort of after she did that and after playing the scene, I was like, oh, you're a genius. Like, you elicited that response. So I think that informed the relationship between Charlie and Melinda the most.
I want to introduce you to my friend Charlie.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Charlie. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for giving my wife piano lessons.
Yeah, no, of course. And she's a real natural, so it's my pleasure.
All I really like after a film that I've made is that they will discuss it, that they won't necessarily agree, but I love the fact that they won't forget it by the next day, you know, or by dinner or whatever. Because I think it's very eccentric, the movie, and I feel lucky to have made it, you know, because it is weird. I mean, it is weird.